Hi there and welcome to my first ever reading vlog. This week I was really in the mood for some dystopian, so yeah, I read 4 dystopian books this week. It's a genre that I really love. I think I first got into it when I was about 18 because that's when the first Hunger Games came out, and I read all of those and loved them. And then when I was older I read 1984. This is one of my all-time favourite books. I've read this 3-4 times now. Absolutely love it. It's one of those 6 out of 5 star books for me. So I'm not sure anything will get close to that, but we'll see. You know, it's funny because I'm saying we'll see. I'm actually recording this intro after I've done the vlog. So I've read all 4 of the books, and I can tell you that I really enjoyed 2 of them, and one of them like completely mind-blowing. Like, one of them was shocking in the best possible way. And the more I think about it, the more I'm just like and then we had another one which I liked, but I feel like I didn't like as much as other people like it, and obviously I will tell you why when we get there. And another one which it was okay. I didn't really like it that much, but we'll get into it. Just a quick note that because this is my first ever vlog, I had no idea what I was doing. And I hope that you'll bear with me, because I'm sure that as I continue to evolve and get better at the skill, that these will improve. But yeah, the first few minutes of footage is actually taken on my phone, and I completely forgot to turn my phone into the correct perspective, so you can see it in portrait mode, which is super annoying. So thanks for being here, and let's get to the vlog. I'm feeling a little bit rough today, but under the weather. So you may think that would make me want to read like cozy books, some cozy fantasy, some comforting books, but I'm actually really in the mood for a dystopian. And I've had a book on my Kindle for a couple of weeks now. I don't know that much about it, but I do know it's a dystopian. It's called The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. All I really know about it is basically that memories like start disappearing, and I've heard it's pretty haunting and that it's just well written. So yeah, I'm going to give that a go, and I will keep you updated. Okay, so I'm about 50% of the way through now, and I meant to update you before this, but I just got really lost in reading. So obviously I am enjoying this book. It is very haunting, and it's really well written as well. We follow this unnamed protagonist, and yeah, things just go missing from this world, and everyone just forgets what they are. Like, they slowly just fade out of their memory, and the things just stop existing. And they can be like pretty innocuous things, or they can be meaningful things, and no one remembers them. And if people try to remember them, there are memory police, and people can be taken and not seen again. There are some people that, you know, can remember, and those people are basically hunted by the memory police. And like, our protagonist not having a name, I mean, I don't know, like I say, I'm 50% of the way through, so I don't know if we'll find out her name, but I feel like we won't. I feel like that's just another thing that just doesn't exist, that just isn't there, that's just forgotten. I also noticed that there's definitely parallels between this and Kafka's The Trial. I feel like the author is probably a Kafka fan. There's even a nod in the names. So obviously in The Trial you have K, and in this you have a character named R, which I feel like is just a little nod to The Trial. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far, so I'm excited to carry on reading it. So I will update you again in a bit. So I'm 75% of the way through now, and I don't think I said in my last update, but our protagonist is a writer, and you get glimpses of what she's writing, and what she's writing kind of parallels what's happening in the main story. And basically her writing has just got a lot more sinister. It's making me think a lot about who we are if we lose our memories. Like, how much of us are our memories? How much of our personality is impacted by our past? What are we if we don't have those memories? What are we if I don't have our past? Are we still the same people? I'm 80% of the way through now, and it is raining so much here now. And there's just something so comforting about reading a book inside while it's raining and you've got some candles and a nice warm cup of coffee. There's something just really relaxing about it. The rain got a lot less relaxing when I remembered that I'd left my washing outside to dry. It's about 10 minutes later and the weather has completely changed again, because, you know, that's British weather for you. I could not believe what they have just lost, what they've just forgotten. When I read the latest thing, they've just gone from the world that they've completely forgotten about. I don't know if you could see in my reaction, but yeah, wow. Okay, so I've just finished it. Wow, it just got more and more crazy and more surreal towards the end. I don't even know what to make of it. I feel like I need to get my thoughts in order. The things disappearing, like, I was shocked, and then it just got more shocking, and I just didn't expect it to push it that far, but it got more and more absurd, and in a way I should have expected it, because I can see all of the influence that she's clearly derived from Kafka. I appreciate the absurdity to an extent, but it's not fully my thing. I don't know. Yeah, recommend this to anyone who likes dystopians with some absurdity and some surrealness to them. Definitely, if you like Kafka, you would probably like this. I can't get over it. I can't. I really want to read some more dystopians now as well, but now I'm going to be thinking of this one. It's 10 o'clock at night now, so I'm just getting ready for bed. And yeah, I'm just thinking about which one to start next. Also, such a nice night out tonight. Look at that. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm either going to read something by Emily St. John Mandel next, Station 11, or possibly Termush. I've decided that I'm going to start Termush next. It's only a novella, so I think it's around 94 pages, something like that. So, obviously I'm not going to read it all tonight because I'm pretty tired, but I'm going to start it tonight. And I will update you tomorrow. Good morning. I read about 56% of the way through Termush last night. Yeah, it's interesting, but the premise is interesting. I wouldn't say it's well executed personally. It's basically the end of the world has happened, and there's lots of people with radiation poisoning, lots of people are ill and have died, and these rich people are in a beautifully equipped bunker where they have everything that they need. Basically a load of, sick commoners are turning up, and they're not happy. They're like, you get out of my bunker, which I paid a lot of money for. I don't want to help you. I'm the important one. Won't somebody think of the rich people? It's a good premise, but the writing style isn't really for me. It feels very disjointed, very disconnected. It doesn't feel very, very emotional. There's no depth to it. It feels very stilted. And of course, this could be because it's translated, so I'm not sure. I'll keep going with it and see. Like I say, it's only a short book. It's, I don't know, about 100 pages or so. So yeah, going out for a little walk with my family soon. So maybe I'll take you there for a little bit. I'll just do a quick workout now. And then, yeah, I'll definitely get this finished later and update you on what I thought at the end. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit more human now after feeling rough for the last couple of days. So I'm going to go out and go for a little walk now. Okay, back from our walk now. I managed to finish the rest of Termush while we were there. You know, it picked up a little bit after the 50% mark, and there is some just really nice writing, there's some interesting concepts in there, but overall, yeah, I found it disjointed, disconnected. The characters, I just didn't care about any of them, and I prefer books with a little bit more of an emotional impact and that are a bit more immersive. This isn't, it wasn't immersive at all. It's got a very stark minimalist style to it. The way it's written feels almost clinical, and again, I don't know if that's the writer, if that's the translation, but it has just a very clinical tone, and you know, perhaps that's what the writer intended, but it just didn't work for me. It is a quick read, like I say, it's about 100 pages, just less, so it could be worth a go. I mean, obviously it's going to work for some people, but I'm not one of them. So I'm thinking about what I'm going to read next now on my dystopian journey, and I'm thinking probably Station 11 next. It's a couple of days later and I'm about 60% of the way through Station 11 now. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world after there's been a flu, which has taken out, I think, 99% of the population. I do not like reading about flu, by the way. I mean, I feel like a lot of us are possibly enjoying reading about pandemics a lot less now. But I was in hospital with flu last year, so it's just bringing back memories. But you know, anyway, moving on. We're following a Shakespearean travelling theatre troupe, and it moves back and forth in time. So we see their lives before, their lives during, and the characters are all very interconnected, which isn't obvious at first, but then she seems to be weaving those storylines together now. In like the first couple of pages, Arthur, one of the characters, dies at the play. Like I say, not a spoiler, it happens on literally like page 2 or 3. And we follow some of his life before and some of the people who knew him, and then, yeah, the Shakespearean group. My thoughts on it so far, I was drawn into it straight away, and I do really like the writing style. I will say I got a little bit lost because it is non-linear. I feel like my little squirrel brain was just kind of all over the place for a bit, trying to work out what was going on. Then once I pieced it together, I started to enjoy it again, and I would say became really engaged with it around the 40% mark. Yeah, I am really enjoying it. I will say it's a lot more character driven than I expected. I thought it'd be a bit more plot heavy because of the setting, and I wasn't expecting quite so much family drama. There's quite a bit of this book dedicated to looking back into the past before the flu took everyone down, and following Arthur in his kind of Hollywood actor lifestyle and the many wives he's had. That's not really my sort of thing. Not in this style of book anyway, it just wasn't what I was looking for. Whereas I am enjoying following the Shakespearean troupe in the like post-apocalypse, and things are happening there which I'm interested in, want to find out what's going on there. Can't say too much because of spoilers, but I have to say I'm kind of confused as to why a guy who died on page 3, like why we're spending so much time following him. But I have a feeling because these characters are all really coming together now that it's going to weave in really beautifully. She's clearly a very talented writer, and everything is coming together. There are quite a few coincidences which seem like they're a little bit much, but yeah, I think she's going to weave everything together really nicely, and I'm excited to continue. So I guess I'll finish it up probably today. Although I've got quite a bit of work, like I should be working right now. So maybe I'll finish it today. If not, then I will have it finished by tomorrow and let you know my final thoughts. Oh. Okay, I finished Station 11 now. I actually finished it yesterday, but I just didn't get a chance to come and update you. Yeah, I did enjoy it, but it didn't blow me away. I continue to feel like it was just a little bit disjointed, and I know that that's the style in that she's weaving everything together intentionally, and she did do a beautiful job of it, but I just don't think the style was for me. I'd prefer it if we were a little bit more linear with the timeline. I think my brain just doesn't like the jumpiness between the past and the future, and sometimes I'd be thinking, oh, who's this? Where are we talking about now? What's happened? Or we'd be in a bit that I was interested in, and then suddenly it'd go back into the past, and I'd think, I don't really care about this. I will say though, the writing style is really beautiful, and it did weave together nicely at the end. So overall, I did enjoy it. It just wasn't anything mind-blowing to me. I do see why we followed Arthur a bit more now, because you find out why he's more important to the story, I guess. Although there was something at the end where I thought it was supposed to be like a revelation, but it was something I'd realised from quite a while before. I mean, maybe it was supposed to. I don't know. I'm trying not to go for spoilers here, so sorry I'm being really vague. But yeah, it didn't feel like a big revelation at the end. But then maybe it wasn't supposed to. It's funny because I saw a lot of people saying that this made them feel like really hopeful and really appreciative of life. I didn't really get that. I suppose there were a few moments where I thought that, but I found it more just kind of morbid, which is fine. It's what I expect from the dystopian, frankly, for it to be a little bit morbid. But just with people saying that it made them feel so hopeful and so appreciative, so grateful, I expected that. Yeah, I just didn't get that. I felt, I don't know, a little bit more melancholic, I suppose. But yeah, because I'm so tired today, I think what I'm going to do is just lie in bed and read for an hour or so. And I'm planning on reading let me get it. Sunrise on the Reaping, the new Suzanne Collins one, so the prequel to the Hunger Games. And I'm really excited about that because I loved the Hunger Games. I've read the series twice. So I read it once when it came out, which I think the first book came out when I was about 18, and I read it at the time and loved it. And then I also read it, I think in my late 20s, as a reread. So it does have like some nostalgia to me, and I'm really interested in Haymitch's story because I believe this follows what happened to Haymitch in the games. I think it might emotionally wreck me because I really love Haymitch's character, and it's so clear in the Hunger Games that he's got a lot of PTSD from what happened to him and what he went through. And it's weird, isn't it? Because I kind of know what's going to happen in it, but I feel like that won't matter because Suzanne Collins is just so good at what she does, and she's going to make me feel attached to characters that I know are going to die. And I'll probably still feel really worried for Haymitch, even though I know that he's going to survive, clearly. But yeah, I'm excited to get into that. I'll update you in a bit. They are in the arena now. I think I'm still under 60% of the way through. I think I'm like 56, 58, something like that. I'm getting like really nervous for Haymitch, even though I know Haymitch is going to survive. But the writing, she's making me feel anxious still. Like I'm stressed. I don't think I'm going to be able to read too much more tonight. I picked my son up from school now, and I'm about to go and spend some time with him and make some tea and all that stuff. So possibly once I put him to bed later, I should get some chance to read then. I think my Kindle says I've got, about 2.5 hours worth of reading time left on it. So I'm not sure if I'll finish that tonight because I'm normally pretty tired by the time I get my son in bed. But yeah, I might do though. But I should really get an early night. So it might be tomorrow when I finish it. I'm stressed. Good morning. I didn't get a chance to read much more yesterday. I mostly spent the evening just chilling with my son. Although I did read a little bit when I got into bed. So I read about another hour. There's some really just heartbreaking scenes in it now. It's people that I knew were going to die, but it's yeah, it's still made me sad reading it, and when you remember that like these are children in the games, and some of the deaths are just brutal, like just brutal. So yeah, I'm sounds weird to be like, so I'm really enjoying it. But I am enjoying it, and I'm hoping to probably finish it later today, I think. I'm just gonna try and do a little bit of a workout now. Okay, workout's finished and I've done a little bit of work, so time to get some reading. Oh, it got me. It hasn't made me emotional until now, but I'm on page 281, 76% of the way through. And yeah, it's got me. This bit is just so sad. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, just that it's got me. Hi, it's the next day. I finished Sunrise on the Reaping. I really enjoyed it. It was so nostalgic. I did tear up a little bit at the end. I think I got some just terrible footage of that, to be honest, just a little clip on my phone, which I don't even know if I'll be able to include because it's so bad, but it's not like I could refilm it because I can't refilm genuine emotion. But yeah, I did really enjoy it. It wasn't as good as the Hunger Games, the original trilogy for me. That one was like 5 out of 5. This one wasn't quite there, but I did still really enjoy it. I think that there were some very convenient character moments and people who I feel like Collins had put there because she knew it'd be nostalgic to us. But I loved seeing Haymitch's story. I love Haymitch. He's one of my favourite characters in the book, and even though I kind of knew what would happen, it was great to be able to see his story and how it all started, and to be able to see his games and to just come full circle from that. My heart does break for Haymitch though. It's just such a sad story, and it's like, you know, when anyone watches the Hunger Games films and they haven't read the books or anything, and they'll say like, oh, Haymitch he's so grumpy and he's so rude and like he's just drinking and not really helping them, and you're like, yeah, because of what he's been through, you know, he has such PTSD from everything that he went through in his own games and from all the horrible things that happened to him. There's a couple of bits at the end with characters that I knew that we were going to lose, and it's still like, it still got to me, and I think that's a testament to Suzanne Collins' writing. Okay, I'm just going to quickly wrap up all 4 books that I read now and try and give some star ratings because I can't really remember if I did that. Yeah, we started with The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This book, it's still getting to me. I keep thinking about it, okay? It's been like nearly a week since I finished that one now. And it's one of those rare books where the rating has actually climbed for me. At first, because it finished on such a surreal and such an absurd... it just ended up... It got so surreal at the end. And normally that's just not quite for me. But I can't stop thinking about it. It's a book that's just really stuck with me, and it was so shocking, and I haven't read anything else like it. So originally I was thinking, oh, this is I don't know, maybe a 4.5, but no, this is a 5-star book. It stayed with me. It's haunting. It's lyrical. The writing's brilliant. Everything is pulled together, and the absurdity in it is done so well. I think I said before, you can tell that the writer is a big Kafka fan, and I've only read 2 of Kafka's books, and neither were 5 stars for me, but they were both, one was 4, which was The Trial, and Metamorphosis was 4.5. And this one, for me, like this was 5 stars, and I can see fans of Kafka really enjoying this one. It is definitely very Kafkaesque, and for me, I enjoyed it more, and I feel like that's probably somewhat controversial, but yeah, I thought it was brilliant. It asked some really thought-provoking questions, and yeah, 5 stars. After that, we went to Termush by Sven Holm, and this was my least favourite of the week. I think that's pretty clear from watching the vlog. It was okay. I didn't really like it that much, but it was okay. There were bits in it that I kind of liked. The premise was good. I don't feel like I could give it higher than a 2.5 because yeah, just not for me. I could see some people liking it if they prefer a more minimalist, dark style and they don't mind that there is a lack of emotional depth in it. But there are some cool things about the writing. So yeah, 2.5 is, I think, fair from me. After that, I went on to Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, and I did end up liking that book, but I definitely didn't love it, and I don't get the sort of hype that's been around it. I've seen a lot of people absolutely loving this book, and I've seen a lot of people saying that it made them feel hopeful and positive, and I didn't get that from it. And I did feel that it was a little bit disjointed. And even though the style was intentional, I didn't really enjoy the jumping around in the plot. And even though she did bring it together really well, like everything was weaved together really well at the end, it still didn't feel like it was for me. But it is very cleverly done. I did enjoy it. It was a little more character driven than perhaps I would have liked, and I like character driven books, but maybe it's just because I wasn't expecting it in this one, and maybe it's because, I don't know, other people can clearly see a beauty in it that I can't, so good for them. Overall, I would say I liked it. I thought it was good. I can see why so many people love it, but I didn't. However, it was still a solid 3.5, 3.75 maybe, for me personally. Finally, I read Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne. Obviously I won't go into this too much because I've just summed it up, but I will say that yes, I did really enjoy this one. I think that part of that is just because of the nostalgia, but it's not just because of nostalgia, because Suzanne Collins is such a good writer and she is able to build tension even when you know the outcome, which is very impressive. Anyway, I would probably rate this around 4.25. Yeah, about 4.25 stars I would say. Really enjoyed it. Did make me a little bit emotional, and I probably won't ever reread that one, but I'll probably reread the OG trilogy again at some point. So yeah, nothing ended up beating one of my favourite books of all time, 1984. I don't think anyone does dystopian better than Orwell. But you let me know if you think they do, because I'm always up for reading more dystopian. So let me know your thoughts and what your favourite dystopians are in the comments. If you haven't read Memory Police, I would say definitely read that if you love dystopian, especially if you like ones that are haunting and dreamlike and surreal. And even if you don't like ones that are surreal normally, maybe you'll like this one, because I did. And like I say, that's not my normal thing. I'm hoping to do another reading vlog soon. I'm also hoping that I will get a little bit better at the technical side of it, and you know, working out exactly what to put into the vlog. Anyway, if you read any of these, please let me know what you thought, and leave any of your recommendations for dystopians in the comments, especially if they're underrated and not many people talk about them, because I would love to read them. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, take care, bye.